Hello, readers and writers. I am Anthony Manna, otherwise known as Professor Grandpa Tonio, the book guy and the writing guy. And I am here today to read to you from my newest book, Loukas and the Game of Chance, illustrated with 10 pen and ink pictures by Donald Babish. Loukas and the Game of Chance. This is episode number 8. If you are interested in listening to, watching the other episodes, then you can go here. That is to my website, where you will find the other episodes in the Podbean platform. Very easy to find. Loukas and the Game of Chance is the story of a flute-playing boy who befriends a mysterious, dancing, talking snake. The snake bestows fortune and favor upon Loukas as a reward for the beautiful music that he dances to, that Loukas plays on his flute. But some years later, tempted by greed and pride, Loukas loses all his riches and even his family. He now must embark on a treacherous journey filled with suspense and intrigue to find Destiny's sun and moon. The trek to Destiny's kingdom is terrifying. The strange souls Loukas meets along the forest path threaten his endurance and his will to survive. He trudges on. He will beg Destiny's sun and moon to forgive him for his foolishness at gambling away his family and his riches in a game of chance, a card game no less. Destiny's sun and moon will surely allow him to reverse his misfortune, restore his honor, and win back all that he loves and treasures. Won't they? Come follow along and see what happens to Loukas. Does he ever win back his honor, his riches, his fortune, his family? At the present moment in the story, in episode 8, Loukas is in the chamber at the thrones of Destiny's sun and moon, asking for forgiveness, asking for hope. As I read episode number 8, think about and describe Loukas' feelings and his thoughts when Destiny's sun and moon present him with the challenge he'll need to undertake to win back all that he treasures and loves. What must he do when he gets back to his village? What challenge will he face? And will he have the strength to be able to overcome the merchant where he lost all that he loved, all that he loves and treasures? Loukas is begging. He's in the chamber. He's before the thrones. He's begging for help. Had he heard a call that rescued him from the misery he had brought down on himself and his family? Loukas froze in disbelief, his heart thudding. Pardoned because you attempted an uncertain journey to seek a renewed fate, Destiny said. Pardoned because you have awakened to the error of your ways in placing greediness above love of life and family. Ilion called out, his words a stream of staccato beats. Pardoned because your fall, before your fall, you loved the snake that befriended you, sang Luna, rising from her throne. A creature reviled by some, Ilion said, but by you honored with vibrant harmonies. You blessed the snake with the joyfulness of dance and an eternal friendship, said Destiny. Loukas pressed his hands to his heart. That snake honored me and my family with loving concern for our survival, Loukas said solemnly. Now then, return to your village, Destiny advised, and go directly to the snake's grave site. Dig below the chestnut tree that rises above his grave, Luna sang with a quickened tempo. There you will find a vast supply of gold coins. Take up a hefty amount of the coins. Keep the others buried and then go find the merchant, urged Ilion, pacing vigorously in front of the thrones. When you come face to face with the merchant, stand tall and firm. Ilion stopped pacing and narrowed his eyes. With a will, sure and steady, Ilion said, his jittery voice stepping over each word. Ask the merchant the direction the sun takes each and every morning, the direction the sun takes each and every morning as it spreads its rays. The sun is first seen in the east, of course, where else but in the eastern horizon. The merchant will surely reply, Ilion predicted. Now, you, sir, continued Ilion, planting himself directly in Loukas' line of vision, you will contradict the merchant. Oh, no, esteemed merchant, you are sadly mistaken. You will tell him, then you will say, so certain am I that we can catch sight of the sun rising in our eastern skies. I'm ready to challenge you to a bet to prove the truth of what I am promising. When the merchant dismisses your claim as nothing more than the blather of a village idiot, Ilion said, twitching, snare your opponent with an enticing wager. You should jingle the coins in your bag, lean in close to the merchant and announce, you say east and I say west. Let's put a bet on who is right about the sun's direction, you or me. And wasting not a minute, you must seal the bet. You must tell the merchant that if he wins, he will receive enough coins to fill a goat's feeding trough. But if you are the victor, you will gain back the entire fortune you had handed over to him at the card game. Settle the contest in the village square at dawn on the first cloudless morning after your return, counseled Ilion as he staggered back to his throne. With your rival by your side, watch for my appearance, Ilion said, slumping into his throne. The merchant pointed due east, you due west. Merciful ladies, kind hearted lord, I lay before you my deepest gratitude, Loukas said, spreading his arms outward. He then turned and looked for an exit out of the room. He would begin his journey back to his village. He would challenge the merchant. He would win back his blessed life. No sooner had he started walking toward the wooden door near a set of arched windows than he suddenly stopped. The needy ones! I must not forget the pleas of the needy ones I met on my journey to this place, he whispered to himself. Loukas turned to face Destiny, Luna, and Ilian. Again he bowed before them. Esteemed ladies, revered lord, before I take my leave, may I be so bold as to appeal to your bountiful compassion, he said timidly. If there be truth to tell, then tell it all, replied Destiny. While traveling to your realm, I happened upon desperate souls who yearned to have your ladyship relieve them of their misery, Loukas said. Who then, sir? Destiny asked from her throne. Along the forest path, I met Callow's daughters, Loukas reported. To Destiny's sun and moon, pleaded the three daughters. We humbly offer our earnest desire to be blessed with enduring love. Then together they sang a song of hope. O Destiny, O sun, O moon, may your wisdom our happiness favor. To each of us grant a sacred union to savor, inspired by love eternally kept sublime, forged into bliss by your grand design. Be not deceived by appearance, good fellow, Destiny said. These sisters are enchantresses. Indeed, they are daughters of a vile sorceress, feared among Highlanders as an unscrupulous predator. Surely they will take great pleasure holding you hostage as long as they so desired, sang Luna gravely. Slip past the sisters, slowly crying out, I talked with Destiny, sun and moon. They told me to tell you, Luna sang, each word drawn out on high-pitched notes. But do not tell them our decision about their request until you have moved beyond their reach, ordered Luna, again drawing out her words on even higher notes. From a distance, call to them the action they must take to be awarded lasting love, Destiny said. You will say, by the command of Destiny's sun and moon, sublime love will be awarded the three of you once you cease haunting the humans with terrifying spells, Destiny said. And then be on your way. Swiftly, swiftly, Luna sang with short bursts. Loukas moved to within a few steps of the thrones. He took a deep breath and looked steadily at Destiny before moving his gaze to Ilian and then to Luna. On the path I met another desperate soul who seeks a change of fate, Loukas said, barely above a whisper. If there be truth to tell, then tell all, Ilian urged. From the river Kimon, I bring you a message of grief, Loukas said, his voice growing stronger. Kimon begs the three of you to take pity on him and end the drought that is ravishing the countryside. Ravaging the countryside. his waters serve. Cayman yearns for the rains that make his river a welcome source of goodness among the humans who inhabit the valleys and canyons he once passed through. Before I departed from Cayman's parched river bank, he implored me to recite to you his song of yearning. Cayman cried out, "That your design, O sacred sages, these currents may you favor. To quench with rains the earth will surely savor. Thus every living thing may once more thrive, a grateful chorus chanting, alive, alive, alive." "You must remain vigilant with Cayman," Ilian cautioned. "In the time it takes an osprey to plunge into the sea," Ilian said, "Cayman has been known to transform the river's tranquil waters into a raging tempest." "He draws great pleasure from having a storm ravage whatever obstructs the river's tumultuous course," Luna sang, trilling each word. "As with the sisters," Destiny instructed Loukas, "you must dodge Cayman. Edge out of his sight slowly. At every step, draw out each word, saying, 'I talked with Destiny, Ilian, her son, and Luna, her daughter.' Say not one word more until you have passed beyond the threat of Cayman's deadly temper. Only then should you call to Cayman the warning you have received from us. Alert Cayman to our demand with a strong voice. Say, 'River Cayman, saving rains will once again come to your way when you vow to control your urge to flood the lowlands with each and every storm.'" Loukas clasped hands and bowed to Destiny. After that, he wasted no time bringing up the struggle the mountains at Meander Pass were fated to endure. He told Destiny, Luna, and Ilian of the mountains' agonizing movement toward each other, equaled only by their grueling retreat. Loukas then recited the mountains' plea to be restored to their natural grandeur. "Would that your plan our dignity may favor, standing firm and noble, admirers of every breed may savor our bountiful valleys, woodlands, and ancient mythical streams, our scented meadows, our craggy cliffs, our mystical fields of dreams." "Whenever these rugged creatures call for help, put aside your trust," Destiny said, scowling. So greedy is their craving to dominate nature, they would eagerly sap the life out of anything that breathes and thrives," continued Destiny, her anger rising. Nothing must be allowed to compete with their greatness, or so they believe," Destiny said with a snare. To survive the mountain's treachery, approach Meander Pass as sly as a fox, as soon as the mountains begin to withdraw from one another. Race at full speed through the gap they will have left on the path, Destiny advised Loukas. "Once you are out of harm's way," Luna added with quavering tones, "call out our warning to the mountains in a hearty voice. Say, 'Meander mountains, If you ever again expect to be admired by the humans and creatures that come your way, you must weaken the power of your storms, your rockfalls, your tremors. Then quickly take your leave, Luna sang with one long breath. With that, Loukas nodded earnestly. As it must be, so will it be, Destiny said, as she glanced at Loukas. Moments later, Destiny rose from her throne, made her way to the door through which she had entered the chamber. Ilian and Luna soon followed their mother. When the door opened, all three took their leave. I'll stop there today, thinking about Loukas when he actually leaves the Vermilion Palace and returns to the village from which he came. What will happen there? Will it work out? Will he be saved? Or will he endure a life of misery? Thank you for listening. I'll see you at episode number 9 in the very near future. Goodbye.